The sun dipped low over the jagged Arizona horizon, painting the sky in streaks of orange and violet. I stood on my porch, a chipped mug of iced tea in hand, watching my goat, Daisy, munch lazily on a strip of yellow caution tape she'd pilfered from somewhere. My name's Jack Tanner, former sheriff, current rancher, and self-proclaimed recluse. After 20 years of chasing down trouble, I'd traded my badge for a quiet patch of land just beyond the manicured edges of Juniper Hills, a glossy new subdivision with an HOA that seemed hell-bent on ruling the world, one lawn citation at a time. I figure my little ranch, tucked outside their jurisdiction, would keep me free of their nonsense. I was dead wrong. It all started with Marjorie Klein, the undisputed queen of Juniper Hills HOA. She wasn't your average nosy neighbor. She was a force of nature, a woman who wielded her clipboard like a scepter and barked orders in a voice that could wake a coma patient. Marjorie was a walking explosion of pastel, athleisure, and rhinestone flip-flops. Her hair, a helmet of platinum curls that defied gravity. She'd taken an instant dislike to me the moment I moved in, mostly because Daisy liked to stare down her prized begonias and my rooster, Clyde, had a habit of crowing before the sun even thought about rising. I'd brushed off her complaints until the courtesy notice showed up. It arrived in my mailbox one crisp morning, a crisp sheet of paper accusing me of unlicensed livestock and my personal favorite, excessive tranquility. I laughed so hard I nearly spilled my coffee, then tacked it to the barn wall next to an old horseshoe. Marjorie's power trips didn't faze Mimi. Land was mine, not hers. But then things took a turn for the bizarre. It was a moonless night, the kind where the desert hums with secrets, when I spotted flashlights cutting through the pines near my back fence. I was out there fixing a post Daisy had headbutt into submission when I saw them two figures in dark gear, moving with purpose. I crouched behind a boulder, my old sheriff instincts kicking in. They weren't stumbling drunks or lost hikers. They were hunting. As they neared my gate, I saw the uniforms cop uniforms, or so I thought at first. But the patches were wrong, the boots a mismatched mess, and one guy's holster was slung backward like he'd dressed in the dark. Red flags waved in my head. Official business. One barked, his voice too loud for the stillness. No names, no agency, just a vague claim about reports of illegal activity. I stepped into the open, keeping my tone light. Evening, fellas. Got a warrant. The taller one flashed a badge so fast it could have been a gum wrapper. We're investigating unregistered livestock, he said, eyeing me like I was hiding a herd of contraband cows. Llamas, maybe? Nope, I drawled, leaning on the fence. Just a goat with a mean streak and a rooster who doesn't own a watch. Coffee. They hesitated, and I seized the moment, playing the dumb hick card, grinning, chatting, leading them inside. While they poked around my kitchen, tossing out lines straight from a bad cop show, I slipped to the mudroom and radio my old deputies, Sam Carter and Ellie Ruiz. They owed me favors from back in the day, and I cashed one in. 10 minutes, Sam promised, no questions asked. Back in the kitchen, the cops were still at it, asking about a livestock concealment permit, while Daisy wandered in and rammed the shorter one's shin. He yelped like she'd taken a chunk out of him, and I bit back a grin. Then I heard gravel crunch outside me. Remote spot turns every arrival into a drum roll. The fakes tensed, one reaching under his jacket, probably for a prop gun. Stay put, I said, casual as could be. The door swung open, and there stood Sam and Ellie, uniforms crisp, radiating authority. The imposters froze, stammering over each other like kids caught raiding the cookie jar. Ellie's sharp eyes flicked from them to me. Community theater or felony? She asked, smirking. The shorter one, turns out his name was Kyle, cracked first. We're hired actors, he blurted, voice trembling. Thought it was a prank video or something. That's when Marjorie roared up in her tricked-out golf cart, a purple monstrosity with a duct-taped siren wailing like a wounded cat. She leapt out, all 5'2" of her, and demanded to know why her officers were being detained. Sam raised a brow. What department? He asked dryly. HOA support force, she snapped like it was the FBI. Ellie doubled over laughing, tears streaming down her face, while Marjorie pivoted to me. jabbing a manicured finger. "You're harboring rogue livestock. That goat's been terrorizing me for weeks." I glanced at Daisy, who was now chewing their fake warrant on the porch, blinking lazily in the sunset. "She's just profiling you, Marjorie. It's a tough gig." Kyle, the fake cop, broke down completely, then sobbing, snot dripping, dropping his phony badge like it was cursed. "I didn't know this was illegal," he wailed. "I'm done with improv." Sam and Ellie took statements, secured the actors, and warned Marjorie about a chat with the county attorney. She blustered about a safety drill gone wrong, but Sam slapped her with a ticket for unauthorized security operations and turned away as she teetered on the edge of a meltdown. I leaned on the porch, tea in hand, Daisy beside me, watching the chaos fade into the dusk. Marjorie's cart sat by the fence, siren flapping loose, and I thought, she has no idea who she's tangled with. The next morning felt almost normal. Clyde crowed, Daisy raided the feed shed, and I brewed coffee, chuckling over the night's absurdity. I figured Marjorie might slink off, humbled. Fat chance. By noon, Sam called with a twist. "Something weird from the actors' interviews," he said. "An email chain operation boundary sweep. Sounds like a bad spy flick, but it's Marjorie's brainchild." Sam and Ellie rolled up later, off-duty in jeans, but still packing that quiet heat. Over my kitchen table, Sam slid his phone over a blurry screenshot from Kyle's cell. Marjorie's Gmail, titled Community Order Plan, Phase 1. Ellie grinned, traced the hires to Craigslist. Cash in an HOA envelope. Emails ordering them to enter boldly, seize violation proof. She even wrote, "Don't fear livestock, they sense weakness." I sipped my coffee twice to process that. She'd staged a vigilante, sting-faking cops, trespassing, impersonation, all over a grudge about my goat. I thought she'd lie low, let the shame simmer. Nope. That afternoon, she roared up my drive in that cart, clipboard in a thick folder in tow, like she was delivering a papal edict. Parking 3 feet from my gate, she bellowed, "Mr. Tanner, I'm issuing an HOA citation, illegal fencing, unpermitted shelters." Daisy grunted and sneezed behind me. Nature's commentary. Marjorie shoved the folder through the slats, arms crossed, waiting for me to grovel. Inside were drone shots of my yard, red circles, snide notes, legal structure unsanctioned, pallet pile of blight. A whole page on Daisy labeled latent threat. "Spying, Marjorie?" I asked, handing it back. "Documenting safety," she snapped. "My land's not HOA turf," I said coolly. "No power here. Keep trespassing or droning, and I'll file a real complaint." She flinched at real, then rambled about community duty. I cut her off. "Unless you've got a badge, a warrant, or a goat tougher than mine, leave." She stormed off, tires spitting gravel. The next day, I called an old pal detective, Vince Malone, a wiry genius who'd solve a murder with a paperclip but insisted on wearing a trench coat in the desert heat for vibes. He rolled in, shades on, fake deputy pin gleaming, grinning like a kid at Christmas. I'd asked him to dig into Marjorie's power grabs after Sam's tip. Vince scouted my land, quizzed me on a rap sheet, and even sweet-talked Daisy until admitting he just loved goats. By afternoon, he was back, smirking, dropping a folder on my table. "Jack, your HOA tyrant's been busy." Inside were bank records, shady HOA expenses, emails about the fake cops, proof she'd tapped community funds for security. She'd reimbursed herself for patrol gear and tactical landscaping, including get this moat supplies. I choked on my tea. She'd filed reports on neighbors' 2 photos, logs, coded ratings. Mine was the thickest, defiant, possible ill intent. Notes like grills excessively, waves oddly at mailmen. I laughed until Vince asked if I needed CPR. We decided to go big board, neighbors, county. If Marjorie was building a spy ring, she was losing her grip. That night, I compiled everything into Marjorie's file and drove it to Tom, an HOA board member and quiet accountant who loved my brisket. He flipped through, muttering she's lost it. He'd pitch at the next meeting I'd be there, a rare outing, but worth it. Pulling home, I saw Marjorie's car across the road, her glaring like a hawk. I tipped my hat. Evening, Marjorie. Moat done. No reply, just a glare and a peel out. Daisy chewed her latest flyer on the porch, and I sat, sensing a storm brewing, not weather, but Marjorie's reckoning. By the HOA meeting, Juniper Hills buzzed. Tom's loose lips had spread Marjorie's file photos, cop flop, expense leaks hit group chats. Someone taped my report to mailboxes, rancher most wanted, charming. The clubhouse, usually Marjorie's domain for yoga rants or shrub lectures, was packed retirees with binoculars, parents with kids, teens with popcorn, all drawn by the drama. I strolled in jeans and boots, binder in hand, no sheriff gear, just Jack. Marjorie sat at the table's head, bored squirming, her in a lilac suit and pearls, smile brittle. Seeing me, her face twitched pure venom. The meeting drone minutes, lawn updates, leash reminders, but tension crackled. Tom stood. "We've got business." "Jack." I set the binder down with a thud. Marjorie glared lasers. Calmly, I laid out fake cops, Craigslist hires, sham badges, HOA cash funneled to her vendetta, all tied to her grudge against me. I passed out proof mails, receipts, spy logs. Gasps, laughs, whispers erupted. Edna, an elder, read her file, suspicious bell ringing, half offended, half proud. A teen shouted, "I'm on page 10. High fives followed. Marjorie rose, blazer crisp, preaching duty and context, actors as a demo crew, funds approved. No one bought it. Board member Wes, snack obsessed, mic'd up. "Marjorie, you spent HOA bucks on a moat?" Laughter exploded. She lost the room shouts of how much. Who okayed it? A lady waved a drone pic. "Why's my cat terrified?" Chaos reigned. The board flailed, then Vince strode in trench coat, folder unplanned but perfect. He'd caught Marjorie faking a county board app. Taking the floor, theatrical as ever, he revealed forged docs, misused funds, data, hoarding listing, armed gardening for a cactus fan. The room roared. Marjorie sank, clutching her clipboard, face drained. Emergency voter presidency, suspended, unanimous. She left wordless, cart waiting, siren drooping. Cupcakes emerged. Tom clapped my back. "Neighborhood savior. Just hate fakes on my land," I said. That night, I fired up stakes, Daisy chewing flyer scraps. Peace return stars out. No HOA drones. A week later, Juniper Hills relaxed. Folks waved, sans clipboards. Marjorie's patrols ceased, her grip dissolved. Vince College dropped her fake county bid after a blog expose. HOA tyrant's county grab. It blew up. Her name buzzed statewide. She sent a shaky cease and desist, claiming I'd defamed her with drama. I framed it in the shed by a no power trip sign. Neighbors, once cowed, griped openly. 40 complaints hit the board in days, from lemonade stand PTSD to tulip fines. Final vote booted her permanently, barring future roles. A party hat hit her mailbox mine. Maybe. I threw a barbecue. Neighbors, Sam, Ellie, even Kyle, teased as not cops, just props. Band played, brisket smoked, Daisy got a VIP hay spot. Kids ran, folks danced, said no rules but bring ice. Late with Tom, Sam, and Vince, I toasted by the fire. First goat-led HOA coup, Vince grinned. "Daisy's a patriot," I said. She snore by bean scraps. Next morning, Marjorie's blinds gapped, a moving truck hummed. Guys hauled birdhouses, her cart loaded last, siren limp. She glanced my way, worn. No fight then turned off. By noon, she was gone. The new board sent a best neighbor plaque, half jest, all heart. I hung it by my badge, and a pic of us grinning posting. Quiet rain coyotes sang, Daisy griped at late oats. Marjorie became Lormote jokes at cookouts. Life roll gardens bloomed, no hammock fines. I fixed fences, savored calm, glancing roadward at dusk, half expecting that cart. Not today. Daisy. I grinned, sipping tea. We won. If you were the one in this story, how would you react? Would you stand up and fight back, or accept the unreasonable pressure and control from the HOA? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this VY Deo with more people. Your small action gives us the motivation to keep bringing you more intense and engaging stories. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next VY Deo.